that has painted an embarrassing picture of corruption and cronyism in the Vatican. Earlier today, the Pope's former butler, 45-year-old Paolo Gabriele, and another Vatican employee were officially charged with aggravated theft. The two are accused of leaking hundreds of secret documents taken from the Pope's personal apartment. Gabriele said he acted out of a desire to combat, quote, evil and corruption everywhere in the church. The Vatican has confirmed the authenticity of the documents, but vigorously denies the allegations of corruption, leaving many to wonder what other secrets, if any, could be revealed in a public trial. CNN's senior Vatican analyst and correspondent for the National Catholic Reporter, John Allen, joins me now. John, what does a public trial even look like in the Vatican?
Hi, John. Well, we should say that a public criminal trial in the Vatican is basically unprecedented, so there's a lot we don't know. At the moment, the Vatican's tribunal is in recess until September 20th, so we have to wait until the judges get back from their summer break to know things like where this trial is going to be held and how much access we're going to have and so on. What we can say is that in the Vatican, as under Italian law, they don't rely on trial by jury, so this case will be heard by a three-judge panel. When they wrap up their work, there's basically an automatic review by an appeals court. Experts say the wheels on this sort of thing grind fairly slowly, so we could be talking about 2 or 2.5 years before we get a final verdict.
Well, John, some of the documents leaked allege some pretty salacious and secular sins, including letters written to the Pope complaining of corruption in Vatican finances, an anonymous memo criticizing a new Vatican law against money laundering. What other revelations, if any, do you expect to come out of this trial?
Well, I doubt there will be many new documents, but there is a pretty big shoe waiting to drop during the trial, John, which is the question of whether Gabriele acted alone or whether he was put up to this by others higher up in the system, potentially even some Vatican cardinals. Now, the Vatican has strenuously insisted that there are no other suspects beyond the two individuals who were indicted today. But in much Italian commentary, it's basically an article of faith that a simple papal butler could not have orchestrated an affair this sophisticated. One of the Italian papers today, John, carried a banner headline that read, "Alleluia, the butler did it all. The Vatican remains holy and immaculate." You know, sarcasm basically dripping off the page. Now, to date, Gabriele has not really played that card. One of his attorneys has said his client basically acted alone. But, of course, it's early days. It's going to be fascinating to watch as the defense strategy evolves, whether Gabriele or his team at some stage decide to involve someone else in this story.
It's all sort of reminiscent of Godfather 3. Thank you for joining us, John Allen.